For today's cup of coffee, I was just asking Kid, I said, just once it would be nice not to start a recording with me already being, irritated, aggravated. He has decided to eat gummies.
Is it me? Am I the drum?
And then he wanted to, I'm like, don't you need a drink?
Because I coughed it.
Yeah. So what does he do? He goes and gets a room temperature bottle of pop.
It was the quickest
soda
thing.
For those of you.
It was the quickest thing.
So if there's edits all through there, you'll know it was because he...
I'll do the Scatman barrel.
No, not gonna have it.
Try to do ABCs.
Not gonna have it.
Try to do the Declaration of Independence and belch.
No.
And burp.
It's like, what is it that some males...
And burpers.
There's a part of them that is perpetually 12 years old. They never get beyond that, some of them. Yes. And that leaves those of us that are the women's going, why the hell are you all perpetually stuck?
Why are y'all the ones that are grossed out by it? When it's just something that happens.
Most of us don't. It's a matter of having some manners.
Where did manners come from?
Well, it's cultural, for one thing.
Was not originally part of our culture.
And it's a matter of no one wants to hear that. Or other bodily sounds that
Nobody cares now.
I do. I care. So, if there's lots of edits, that he has either...
I will try not to belch.
Belched like a big hog, or I have beaten him. One of the two. So,
well, I'm already dry on the basement walls.
I didn't care because it's chalk. I don't care what it does on that. From Daily Mail, and we had discussed on the last cup that we had some science things, coming up. This is one of them. This is by Luke Andrews, November the 9th of 2022.
Loves it.
A mind-reading brain implant has allowed an American man to communicate again after a devastating stroke robbed him of the ability to speak.
Nice.
And the device works by picking up electrical signals sent by the brain to the vocal tract when the patient tries to mouth code words. A computer then translates these into letters, allowing words and then sentences to be projected onto a screen at a speed of about 7 words per minute. And I know that sounds...
I mean, that is kind of slow.
Oh, it's very slow. But considering the circumstances, And the 36-year-old patient, known only as Poncho, is the first to try the device, which is its makers hope to be rolled out more widely within a decade. Scientists at the University of California, San Francisco say it could be used for people with a host of other conditions, including cerebral palsy. Poncho, or it's Pancho, I think. It's Poncho, I think.
Yeah.
Was paralyzed from the neck down at the age of 20 by a pontine stroke, a type which can cause locked-in syndrome, in which people are only able to move their eyes.
And that's terrifying. That is traumatizing.
Absolutely, and it says
God
that...
love him. I hope that... Hopefully this thing works for him, and if it does, hopefully it can be rolled out to everyone else who needs it.
Absolutely. It says that a pontine stroke is where a blood clot disrupts the flow of blood to the pons region of the brainstem. And the rare stroke can be deadly or leave patients with paralysis, although exact symptoms vary depending on the stroke's location. 20 years old.
Yeah. Can you believe that?
People talking about wanting spoopy stuff. Well, there you go. That's scary as everything. And he
We're
says,
not promised tomorrow.
No.
And we're not promised a functional life either.
He is said to be thrilled with the device and has used it to tell researchers that he hates hospital food.
Who doesn't? Well,
The things I've had in the hospital weren't bad.
I had like a slice of pizza there one time, and it wasn't bad.
Yeah. So
It's cafeteria food. Cafeteria food is just it's cafeteria food. You take what you get.
Yeah, pretty much. It says the device, which contains 128 sensors, was implanted onto the surface of the brain beneath the skull. To use it, the patient attempts to mouth code words from the NATO phonetic alphabet, such as Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta. And to say cat, for example, the patient would need to attempt to mouth the words Charlie, Alpha, Tango.
Now, wouldn't that be a little bit more difficult for him?
Well, that's what I thought. The fact that he's able to move his mouth, that was the reason I was looking about the Stephen Hawking thing. Let's keep focus here for a minute and we'll discuss the other. It says a computer then analyzes these signals and translates them into the specific letter that they represent. Scientists found it took about 2 seconds on average for each letter to be translated. This is equivalent to about 29 characters a minute or 7 words. It takes about 30 seconds to say sentences like, "How are you today?" or about 10 seconds to type out "hello." A total of 1,000 words were spelled out by the device, by the patient, or 85% of those used in everyday spoken English. The scientists said that this could be extended to 9,000 words. The computer got 1 in 16 letters wrong. The patient is still able to use grunts and moans, but is not able to speak complete words. He is communicating previously, or was communicating previously, by using a pointer attached to the top of a baseball cap to type out words on a screen. The electrode was implanted into his brain in 2019, with scientists then training it to translate different brain waves to specific letters. And then it says, estimates suggest that nearly 5 million Americans are living with some form of paralysis, while 700,000 have cerebral palsy. And I'm wondering, when it says that it was implanted in 2019, I'm like, okay, is this an older article that they have just re-released? Or what? I mean,
maybe this was like an update to it or something.
It doesn't say anything about that.
Huh.
But within that,
Or maybe they just got around to, doing the article about it.
That could be. It could be that it was implanted and then the rest of it had to wait for development.
Yeah.
The fact that he can grunt and that he could move enough to use the pointer attached to the top of a baseball cap.
And if he can mouth Charlie, Alpha, Tango, I think that he can mouth cat or A, B, C.
Right. I mean, with the technology that they have on a lot of these things now, especially with the AI.
Well, maybe that wouldn't work because there are a couple letters that you don't use your mouth that much to pronounce.
Right.
So.
But it looks like that it could learn from him.
Yeah.
What things were, and maybe
almost that like an AI type of deal.
Yeah, and maybe that technology is just so far out of the price range, which is more than likely what that is.
I mean, think of how much robotic limbs are.
Yeah. But looking as far as going back to Stephen Hawking, and my God, that man was imprisoned within himself.
Yeah. And it's like...
And that makes me claustrophobic thinking about it.
It's like, damn, God took away his ability to use his thumb.
Well, at one point, we were researching that he was able to use his thumb sort of like a joystick and, communicate through that. And then he did. He lost the movement in his thumb. So they had like a laser thing to where he had one muscle in his cheek that he was able to twitch, and that the laser picked that up and he was able to communicate through that.
See, that is a case for assisted suicide on that.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Was in prison.
I don't know that he ever said anything about that. Yeah. Yeah. We've got a lot of people out there. That's the reason when you think your day's going bad, you think about some of these other people's days, and it's like, oh, thank you, God, I'm blessed.
Yeah. It's a reality check.
It is a reality check. But, the fact that and Intel was who worked with him on that, but the technology is not cheap. So I think that's one of the things that they're trying to do with this brain implant with this gentleman. Like I said, 20 years old, dear God. And that make it possibly more affordable for more people. Mm-hmm. But I'm like you, sitting there going, Charlie Alpha Tango, and maybe that's more the specific, because you do have to have more facial movement.
Maybe.
When you do that. I know that that's one of the things that Elon Musk is working on, isn't it? As far as paralysis and different things like that.
I have no idea what the man is working on. All I know is that his cars are built like shit. The tech in it is good, but the build quality is shit.
Yeah, I've heard lots of things about the Teslas catching fire, and then they can't put the fire out, and one of them had gone crazy and had run over people there the other day.
You know, like that foam ceiling to keep like air out, to keep the door shut or whatever?
Yes.
That fell off day one on one of the cars. The trunk was like wobbly as fuck, about to it felt like to that person that it was about to fall right on them.
Well, now that's not Musk's fault. That is whoever is building these things. Where is this?
That's what I said. Like, their build quality is
assembled?
shit. And the the trim, like the actual it's supposed to look like metal or whatever,
Right.
falling off immediately, basically.
And where are these being assembled?
I don't know where they're being assembled.
Oh,
but
somebody needs
they're
some
not
quality
good quality
control. Yeah, that's not a good thing at all. But I really do think that he has said that there, were plans for him to help people that were paralyzed to walk again. And I know that he has said other things about people being, having some kind of chips in the brains and different things like that. And people get freaked out. And I'm one of them sometimes, because this transhumanist movement, and that's real. That is real. And you've got to wonder. And the science fiction, you've got like Terminator and all that stuff where you had the cyborgs.
That's the scary bit.
And it can be spooky.
That's just like...
And
it's fun in fantasy, but when it becomes reality, that's, no.
Right. And for the people that could be helped by it, how many other people are going to be harmed by it?
Right. Exactly.
What happens if somebody hacks these things?
And it is possible.
Yeah. If it's a computer, anything, it can be hacked.
Yeah.
And there are people that are sick enough to do things like that, which is horrific, but I never understood why somebody would have the intelligence to do these wonderful things and yet use them for the purposes of evil.
Because evil has always existed.
So
there's always been a battle of good and evil.
Yeah, that is true, and that is we're in it right now. We're totally in it. Mm-hmm. But let's just hope that this young man gets some help out of this device, and that hopefully it will learn. Now, within some of these projects like this, you've got the medical people, then you've got the computer people, then you've got the engineers that try to make all of this stuff work together. Mm-hmm. The fact that this is implanted into his brain.
Yeah.
You
would think they would make it so that if he thought,
yeah,
a letter, that it could just instantly be like, boom.
Yeah. And it was something that I had read a few days ago, that I read so much. I truly do. That's how I spend my day, is reading different things. That they did have some kind of device that was able to pick up on the brain waves and be able to translate thoughts. Mm-hmm. that is something that's coming up in the development. And so maybe that would help some of these people that have difficulty communicating.
See, this also, I'm going to use a video game as a reference. It's one of my favorite video games, but it is dark as shit. And
right.
If you do not... You have to be in a healthy mindset to play that game, because it does delve into some really dark.
Right.
Anyway, there is this character called the Eye of Adam in it.
Right.
And he was this online person and in these forums, basically giving people directions on how to commit suicide or whatever.
Right.
And in the end, you find you and your friend find him, and he's this dude that's paralyzed in a chair.
Wow.
And he is hooked up to where the reason that he's called the Eye of Adam is because like he uses his eye to, do everything.
Right.
So that's why like he does what he does, because he can't, like, he's trapped. So
right.
He puts that misery out on other people, and that caused him his own demise in the end as well.
Well, I can understand that. And you can't allow somebody to sit there, regardless of their situation, that does not give them the right to hurt others.
That's a case of that technology, like, that's sort of technology being used for bad.
Yeah.
And that is a more realistic, like, approach to it. And that's, the bad thing I'm worried about,
Yeah. I get that. I really do. And it was just like, as far as that there are still websites and chat or whatever they're calling it these days. Is it still called chat? Online.
Yeah.
Okay, message boards and different things like that in chat rooms.
Forums, message boards.
As far as people getting other people to do self-harm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, why doesn't somebody go on there and say, hey, you can get some help. You don't have to suffer with this. There are medications, there's therapies, there's other ways to increase your quality of life.
Yeah, but, because this dude was in so much suffering, he, I guess, wanted to cause that onto other people.
It was just jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he was in the circumstance that he was.
Yeah, pretty much. And
on things like that, do I believe
the cat
that,
lady? It's a good game. Really good game.
Do I believe that people need to be given the option as far as whether they want to continue to exist in such circumstances? I do.
Yeah.
We wouldn't expect an animal to live like that. And yet there's, to sit there and go, oh, you gotta do this.
To allow humans.
But that has to be that individual's choice.
Yeah.
And people get really upset with you. And I'm like, why would you get upset? That's that person's choice. You're not trying to make it everybody's choice. I mean, personally, would I want to have the option? Yes, I would. And I have felt that way for many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe it's self-murder. I think it's a matter of ending somebody's... If somebody cannot get better or whatever, give them an option. Let them... There's worse things than death.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And such as these stories.
Yeah.
And it's just like that young man that was cut in half by was it a bulldozer or some kind of heavy equipment that he had wrecked?
I have no idea on that one.
And he was 19 years old. And he had told his mother that he wanted to live. That even if he was just a head, that he wanted to live. And so, I don't remember how many years out from the accident, but they're working with him. He's having to have surgeries a lot, but he seems to be okay with it. His wife, who is his caregiver also, she seems to be okay with it.
Yeah.
But realistically, you've got to wonder, how long will this person last?
Exactly.
Because when you're having all the tubes and everything like that, we're not trying to be depressing. We're just being realistic and discussing other people's issues. And things that there are some things, technology has given people quality of life and life in general that before was not even feasible.
Right.
And for, the brain implant to be used with this 20-year-old where he can communicate again, rather than grunting.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And technology, It actually, I don't know that it might be more available to the general population within a decade, but technology increases, very, very, very rapidly these days.
Yeah.
So it may not take that long. They can find out what works, what doesn't work, correct the errors. Somebody may come up tomorrow with some kind of,
New
computer
thing.
chip that just automatically puts it into, some kind of Wi-Fi thing to where they can talk like normal.
Right.
Which would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Until it's misused.
Yeah. Don't become the eye of Adam.
Yeah. It's like maintain your humanity.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that people are concerned about. And if somebody wants to be a cyborg, you go for that. You do you.
The only way I would want to become a cyborg if I was like Blind Mag and I got those robotic eyes. That's the only way I would become a cyborg. Because, think, I got fucking projectors. To be able to have projectors for eyes.
That was interesting when you said that because
holographic projectors.
In the Dune series, there were some of the characters in there that had that type of eye. And I'm wondering if they took, I'm sure that they had probably read that and used that in
Didn't they also
Repo Genetic Opera.
Wasn't in Dune also this one woman? She was like a desk person, and she had this pen, and she was like able to tap her nails, and it changed the colors.
That wasn't Dune. I think that was Total Recall.
Well, either way, that was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Now that's the technology that I could get behind.
Yeah, I mean stuff that's not hurting people.
Yeah.
But as far as machines that build themselves inside of human beings, no, I got a problem with that. At what point does somebody no longer become human? That's what a lot of us are concerned about with, some of the technology.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, God bless this young man, and I just hope that everything works out for him. It would be great if we had the technology to repair whatever it was there in the brainstem. It's amazing that anybody, survives a brainstem, anything. Mm-hmm. Because that is basic functioning. Breathing, heart, everything.
Yeah. I mean, that's things we don't think of.
Right.
It's just there. It always has been. So it's like something that we just don't,
Yeah, so it's just... I wasn't aware that condition could happen. It's just one more thing to kind of worry about from time to time. But, yeah, cool stuff. Cool tech stuff. Let's hope it doesn't become scary tech stuff. I don't know how much more scary it could be for this individual.
I don't know either, but that's... Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
So it's a matter of looking at this, appreciate the technology that they can do this, prayers for this young man, and appreciation for what we have as individuals on any given day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Thanksgiving coming up next week, so here in America we do that.
Yeah.
It's just official Thanksgiving Day.
It's an American thing.
Well, it can be a worldwide thing. It can be an everyday thing to just sit there and go, I can see colors, I can do this, I can, hear, because there's other people that can't.
Right.
Yeah.
Color blindness.
And
color blindness is a spectrum.
Right. I was reading something the other day that there are some individuals that it was some kind of a genetic mutation that instead of the 3 cones, which was, what was it? Yellow, red, and blue, I think was what it was, that they had a 4th.
So they could see other colors.
They could see other colors.
And now, see, that's something I would get behind.
How cool
like that.
is that?
See colors that you can't normally see. I want that.
And it had a tendency to be the female offspring of men who were colorblind.
That's pretty cool.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. There are some people that have no color cones. None.
So everything is monochromatic?
Yeah. Just completely black.
Wow.
Just completely grayscale. Like a black and white film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
film noir.
Yep.
Well,
like
I would miss color so much.
Yeah.
Again, something else to be grateful for.
I think that runs on my dad's side of the family.
Yeah, a few, but it's not. I don't think it's that common, and I don't know that it's genetic.
It's not a severe. It is genetic.
Is it genetic?
Yes, but it's not like a severe color blindness.
Right.
But there have been times that I'm like, am I fucking colorblind?
You get on to me as far as things that are colored blue, they taste blue. That ain't no damn raspberry. That is blue.
Blue raspberry.
No, it's just
yeah. That's where you get the blue.
It tastes blue.
That's where you get the blue. It's the blue raspberry.
That is the flavoring.
I don't like blueberry flavoring, but it's okay.
Yeah, that was anyhow. That's another thing, tricking our brains.
There's pills that you can actually take. Like it's these little tablets. You can order them off of Amazon, and you just dissolve them on your tongue, and they can trick your taste buds.
Why would you want to do that?
Sour things can taste like super sweet.
Okay. What if
like
it totally
candy.
screws them up? I don't know. I just.
Don't eat the whole pack.
You ate a whole bottle of melatonin gummies one time, so.
I wasn't paying attention. Listen, I slept. I woke up with the worst headache. He OD'd
on melatonin. Oh God! And he was grown. This is just a few years ago.
I was just sitting there watching YouTube, and I was just like, these gummies are these are good ass gummies. What the fuck are these again?
God.
Oh shit!
Oh. That's all I can say. It's just, oh God. Now y'all know why I have that constant sighing.
It's like, damn, I may not wake up tomorrow.
But that's true of any of us. But if we do, if you've had experiences with paranormal, supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, weird and or cool science stories, send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com, and the email address will be in the description box, as will the link to the article.
Yes, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all, and have a good.
Know that you're loved.
Yes.
Because we truly do. We appreciate everybody that takes the time to listen to our little pirate radio. We are. Arg. And we'll see you on the next cup.
I'm apparently like part of the... I'm not even part of the crew. I'm part of the like zombies or whatever.
No.
I'm like that thing on the end of Fig the Gur Arg.
No,
that.
It's your turn to go down in the hull, swab the hull, and deal with the rats.
I'm jumping off. I'm off the plank. I'm already been changed. I've been booted.
No, not yet. It's all hands on deck. We'll see you on the next cup.
Bye.
Bye.